What is up, everybody? It's Dadbot here. Welcome back to my Dark Souls 100% walkthrough. Thank you guys for tuning in. So we just beat the Moonlight Butterfly and obtained the spoils from the fight. So to get back to where we were, I'm actually going to use a homeward bone because it is going to save us a bit of backtracking. It'll warp us right back to the bonfire. I believe the last one we rested at was the one that was behind the illusory wall. Yeah, here we are. You can go ahead and level up here if you want. I'm going to move on and level up later just to kind of consolidate the periods of time where I'm spending time in like menus and whatnot. But what we want to do is head back here and we're going to face a few of the grassy enemies again and hopefully have better luck with the drops. I want some purple moss clumps. And then again, I want the ones that the blooming ones that heal the toxin as well. But let's see. Blood red. Still blood red, man. Wow. This is very bad luck. Another. Wow. This is unreal. Unreal, guys. It's all good, though. Really, what... Getting the drops, what that would do is it would save me from having to buy some later. Yeah, this is... The game is rigged. I'm convinced the game is rigged. Anyway. Oh, well, it is what it is. I want to say there's another one, like... So here's where we're going, actually. We're not going all the way back to the Undead Parish. Oh, I messed that up. I thought I hit him, but I was a little bit too far away to connect. So that grab attack, yeah, look at that grab attack, did like half of my health's worth of damage. Okay, yeah, so I got nothing but more blood reds. That's just fantastic. So what we're gonna do now is head over here. There is a crystal lizard, so be aware of that. Do not let it run away from you. If you do, if it does run away from you, as I said, you can always quit and reload and it will respawn. It will not, however, respawn if you kill it. It only respawns if it runs away. So here it is. Kind of sprint full speed, lock on once you can, and then give it a couple whacks. There we go. Got a twinkling or two twinklings and a titanite chunk. Now twinklings, those are used to level up, I guess you could call them special weapons. So for example, like the Black Knight weapons, those level up with twinkling titanite. And one of the advantages of the Black Knight weapons is since they upgrade with twinkling titanite, it's actually easier to upgrade them and max them out. We go over here and we can drop down for some more loot. We got the leather set and the longbow. So the longbow is slightly more powerful than the short bow. It, as you could imagine, requires higher stats to equip, but we do have the stats. It requires 14 dex and 9 strength, which of course we have. So let's throw it on. It is a little bit heavier, but we should still, are we still? No, we're not fast rolling, but let's see. To counteract that, I'm actually just going to unequip the talisman, and then we'll throw it back on. Yeah, we'll throw it back on after we rest at the next bonfire. So drop down here. That is the way forward, but we actually want to head back because there's some stuff to get, and there is a Black Knight that we're going to fight. So just beware. And this is the halberd version of the Black Knight, so it could drop the Black Knight halberd if you're lucky. I believe it's a 20% drop rate for all of the Black Knight equipment. I'm going to take him back up here. Look, he's got some fancy moves. I'm going to bring him back up here just so it'll be easier to fight him. Eventually, I'm going to start parrying these guys to kill them. However, the ones with the halberds or really any polearm. I'm pretty terrible at parrying the polearm weapons, but pretty decent at parrying the swords. So I'm just going to do the standard circle around and do the backstab or completely mess it up. Either or. All right, come on. Come on here so I can get behind you. There we go. There we go. Give a little chug-a-lug while we're waiting for him to get back up. So yeah, you see, even though we're blocking, he's still doing a pretty sizable chunk of my stamina bar there, because his attacks are quite powerful. All right, let's see. Okay, we got another shield, actually. I think that's our second shield that we've gotten. So we're going to head back down where we were going originally. Moving over here. And this is important, the Grass Crest Shield. So that shield is quite good. It does not block 100% physical damage. It does block 95%. So almost as good. But what it does do, and I'm going to rest of this bonfire here and use this as my opportunity to level up. What it does do is it gives you a buff to your stamina recovery. So in my opinion, it is worth the 5% chip damage you're going to take while blocking to get that stamina boost. And I'm not going to equip it until I have enough endurance. So I'm going to split these levels between vitality, endurance, and strength. I'm just going to kind of go back and forth. So that'll get me to 13 endurance, and then I'll probably put my next level into endurance as well, and just kind of rotate between these three categories until I get to 24 strength, which is what I need to one-hand the Zweihander, and 30 vitality, which is a soft cap for vitality. Those are kind of my targets at this point. What we're gonna do now is we're going to go over here. This unlocks a shortcut to an area that we're going to get to later. And this could be, you know, once we get to that area, you know, we'll have a easy shortcut to get back down to this bonfire just in case we need it. But we're not going to go to that area quite yet. I'm just pulling the lever for the shortcut at this point in time. So that bonfire, I'm not going to kindle. And I should have, since we upgraded the stamina there, I should have enough of a boost in my equipment load to be able to carry this talisman without, yeah, and keep my medium roll. So that's important. Okay, so now we're going to go the other direction. All the way down here, you see there's an item ahead. We're going to run and grab it real quick. Now, if you look to your left, there is a giant Hydra. And if you get too close to it, it's going to spit at you and try to attack you. And it's bad news. We're going to come back here later and kill it, but not for now. And these golems, they might try to attack you as well. If they do, I mean, the thing is they have really high defense and a lot of HP. I'll kind of show you. So just circle behind them. You know, you'll notice a common theme. The best way to fight most enemies in this game is to get behind them, because most of them attack from the front. So if you get behind them, then that's usually your best bet, your safest bet. So I'm circling around to my right because he attacks from that direction, and it's easiest to get behind him. There we go. And these, you know, can drop some loot occasionally, but not this time. So what we're going to do now is we're going to ignore the Hydra, and we're going to go straight here. And this is something that one of our keys is going to unlock that we picked up. Or if you have the master key and you missed some of those keys that we picked up along the way, your master key will unlock this door. And behind this door is Havel. Havel is an NPC who will be hostile right away. He will try to attack you, so watch out. Yeah, I need to watch out. And I'm going to block and heal because I need to. So the way to fight him, you see his attacks hit hard. So you kind of know the drill by now. Circle around, get your backstabs. He is parryable. I'll demonstrate that as well. But of course, as I said, the parry comes with the risk. You'll be doing extra damage, but it is risky. Because if you take the hit, then it's really bad. But you see the parry damage there. I'm doing 261, which is significantly higher than what I was doing with the backstab. But you can basically just bait him into those hits over and over again and keep parrying him over and over again. You won't even have to like move or sidestep. You can just face him, parry over and over and over again, and kill him that way. But the reason why we're killing him is because he will follow us if we don't. And by killing him, we get Havel's ring. So you notice he's wearing some beefy armor. He's using a ginormous weapon. So he's carrying quite a bit on him. So his ring, as you might expect, will boost our maximum equipment load. So this ring actually boosts your max equip load by 50%. So this will allow us to wear some heavier stuff and that will be without the penalty of losing our medium roll. So I'm going to go ahead and just equip straight up the Elite Knight, the Elite Knight armor set. I have the chest piece on now, but the remaining stuff is basically my starter gear. And you'll see here that we're getting just a slight boost to our physical defense by equipping the Elite Knight set. So it is overall worth it to equip some more sturdy armor to get that defensive boost. And also, we'll be able to throw on our Grass Crest Shield. And as I've said before, you look, it's 95% physical damage, but at the same time, you are going to get this stamina regen boost. So you see those 3 green arrows pointing up. That's the stamina buff we're getting. You see how I'm also kind of glowing green. In my opinion, it is worth the 5% chip damage for that boost. And so I will most likely be wearing this shield for just about the rest of the game. So we're going to climb up this tower, and this is going to take us back to a familiar place. We are back at the Undead Burg. And if it hasn't clicked yet, it will soon, because we're about to go to the bridge where we fought the Taurus demon. Here's where we fought the Taurus demon. Just sprint ahead. Those guys up on the tower there are going to be sniping you, so just stay moving. And there is a key that we picked up along the way that is going to open up a new area. And this happens to be a door that the master key does not open. So if you miss this key, where it is if you remember that cathedral where we fought the Bell Gargoyle boss, you go around it, there is a gate that we opened up, and that key is right next to the gate. So we use the basement key. So we're going down here to the lower Undead Burg. Slide on down the ladder. And before we go in, make sure you turn to your right. You can climb up these stairs. And we opened up a shortcut. This takes us back. This should also look familiar. This takes us back to the Undead Burg where, you know, that first bonfire that we unlocked over here is right there. So if you want to rest at that bonfire, by all means, be my guest. There's not really any need to, unless you need to like refill your Estus flask, something like that. And did that guy drop down? Is he following? He is following me. All right. So we have arrived at the lower Undead Burg. And there's going to be dogs that try to attack you right away. So best way to deal with the dogs is to block and then follow up with a hit. Now you will notice I am taking a little bit of bleed build up as I block as well, but it's generally not going to be enough to trigger the status effect. So over here is another usage for a key.
Somebody help me. Damn, I'm finished. How did this ever happen?
So this is what we need the residence key for. The master key does not unlock this door. Remember, we got the residence key from the undead merchant at the very beginning of the game. So roll through these barrels. Do not attack them because you don't want to hit the NPC by accident. Just roll through that barrel and you pick up the sorcerer's set and a catalyst. Catalysts are what you need to cast sorceries. It's basically the same thing what we're using our seal for to cast miracles. The catalyst is what you would use. I said seal, I meant talisman. I'm thinking Elden Ring terms. Yeah, the catalyst is what you would need to cast sorceries, just like this talisman is what we're using to cast miracles with. So let us talk.
Brilliant. You opened the door for me. Thank you. I'm saved. I am Griggs of Vinheim. I am much obliged for your assistance. Thanks to you, I may now resume my travel.
So if he's going to go back up to Firelink, he sells sorceries. He's a merchant that sells sorceries. And he does sell some sorceries that we're going to need to purchase for the All Sorceries trophy if you're going for the trophy. So what we're going to do is turn this way. There are a bunch of hollows wielding torches. They do more damage than you'd expect. I'll just leave it at that. So don't underestimate these guys. Around here, we're going to have a few more waiting for us. All right, and here we got a twin humanity. And that's just a dead end, so we're going to turn back around. So now what we are going to do is, if we're not careful, there's going to be an ambush that happens. And some of the enemies are going to pop up behind us because the ambush happens a little bit further down this path. Two of the enemies that ambush us, though, are behind these doors. And you can actually hit them through the doors. So I suggest you do that as well. You know, it is a little bit cheap, but, you know, the ambush is cheap. The game's trying to be cheap, so we are out-cheesing the game in a way, which I have no problem with doing that. So now that these doors have opened, we can go back, and there's actually the mail breaker is in here. Up here, there's going to be some more enemies and dogs. There's another kind of ambush. Although in this case, they don't appear behind you. They're all in front of you. And here come the dogs. So I'm going to use my shield a bit here just in case for... Ended up not really needing it, but always good to be careful. All right, got these guys. One of these has a thing. There we go. Got the thief armor set and the target shield. Oh, another dog. So through this fog gate is the next boss. Do not go in it yet. We're not going to fight the boss quite yet. Behind here is an ambush. He will sneak up behind you and get you if you're not ready. You'll see that's a common tactic. They'll put an enemy right in front of you that you'll want to charge after and hit, but then if you don't look behind you, there's going to be a guy that sneaks up on you. So that's one of the From Software's dirty tricks to watch out for. We got a large lost soul of an undead. And so what we want to do now is go through here. We're going to unlock another shortcut. And also a very important merchant as well. So through here, there's another undead hollow merchant. So what we can do is, I mentioned we can buy purple moss clumps. So I only have one of these. If you have, you know, a few of them, you don't need to buy one. I'm going to buy one extra, and I'm also going to buy a blooming purple moss clump. I wish I had one, maybe two of these already, but since I don't have any, I need to buy one. She also sells poison throwing knives, alluring skulls, charcoal pine resin, which is basically the fire version of the gold pine resin that we have. Rotten pine resin, which inflicts poison, homeward bones, humanity. One thing that I do recommend buying is the purging stone for 6,000 souls. This cures curse. Curse is a horrible status effect that we're going to be exposed to later, so it's best just to pick it up now. I mean, if we do everything right, we're not going to get cursed, but this is just for safety in case, you know, I or you get cursed. You're going to want this purging stone in your inventory. I will say that Oswald, back we talked to him after we rang the first bell of awakening, sells these for half the cost. For 3,000 souls instead of 6,000 souls. So if you want to make the trek to him and buy one for cheaper, you can do that. But just to keep things moving, I'm gonna get it from this merchant. And then what I'm going to do is this is going to be helpful. Is I'm going meant to purchase. I'm going to buy some poison arrows. I'm going to buy as many as I can. 13. I'm going to use a soul item just to get some more because poison arrows can definitely come in handy. I'll use, let's see. I'll use one of these. That's 1,000 souls. So like that'll give me 10 more arrows. Maybe I'll use another one, buy 20 more. There we go. Let's see, poison arrows is what we want. Buy 20. And be on our way. So this is going to take us to another place that should be familiar. This door was locked before, but now we can open it. So over that way is the entrance to the Undead Burg. which means that down here, I'm gonna kill the rat for the chance at a humanity drop. Nope. Over here is the entrance to Firelink Shrine. So we're back at Firelink. That shortcut took us all the way back over here. And this is just a testament to how far we've come. I mean, look at how much damage we're doing to these enemies. I mean, this is just a joke at this point in the game. And really goes to show, you know, how strong we've become. It really is a good feeling. And these guys you don't have to kill, but, you know, get some extra souls, why not? So here's where Griggs is. You can't purchase his sorceries until you have at least 10 intelligence, which we don't. We have 9. But we will be purchasing at least 2 of his spells later for the trophy. Well, that we're going to need for the trophy. All right, make sure you rest at this bonfire, because we are going to go to a place where if we die, we want to respawn at this bonfire rather than the one further back. So we are going to unlock a secret. This is a very important secret. So where we're going to go is back to the elevator that would take us back up to the cathedral and the Undead Parish. We're going to ride this up, but instead of going all the way up, we're going to drop off like right here. And this will take us to a secret spot. So what you want to do is head over this direction. So right here, you see how we're lined up with this? I guess it's like a flying buttress type of thing. What you want to do is you want to roll at the very end. If you roll, and as long as you have at least a medium roll, this should work. Just run to the very end and then roll right at the end. Don't jump, just roll. You should land right on top. And then go up these steps. And we need this item that's on top of this building here. So roll again, get on top. We get the Undead Asylum, floor 2 west key. And what you can do is you can just drop over here. And this is a little bit tricky. You can go back down and go all the way around back up to get to where we were before. But you can also, if you run straight at, if you run straight at this thing and then jump, if you do it just right, you should be able to hop up. Might take a few tries. But there we go. Hop back up. So that's where we were before we went up the stairs. This takes us back up to where we rolled off to get that key. Circle around, go up this way. And then, yeah, there's nothing in here. So go straight to the nest. And we want to curl up like a ball. And we need to stay curled up for just a few seconds here for this to happen. Yeah, curl up like a ball. Sometimes this game makes me want to curl up in a ball, but you know, it can be stressful at times, especially doing these walkthroughs. I feel the pressure to perform well when I'm doing these walkthroughs. So, anyway, you kind of sit there for long enough, and then the crow is gonna come and whisk you away. And we're back at the Undead Asylum. You'll see that there are some enemies here that weren't there before. So dispose of them at your leisure. Watch out for that combo. That combo can be nasty. So when you go in here, do not, and I repeat, do not run straight ahead. The floor will collapse and you will encounter a very challenging boss. One that we're going to come back and fight later, but I don't think we're quite prepared for yet. So make sure you go around to the side. And if you do happen to fall down, though, what you can do, you'll get to the boss encounter right away. You can quit and reload. If you quit and reload, it'll bring you right back up top. So just a word of advice, do not run straight ahead. So we're gonna go this way and make sure you rest at this bonfire, because we're about to fight a Black Knight. If the Black Knight kills you, you'll just respawn right here. And this is a bit of a close quarters fight. So what I would recommend is use this as an opportunity to practice your parries if you haven't gotten good at your parries yet. And if you fail, the Black Knight kills you, then you respawn right there. So you'll see there's not really enough space here to run around and get behind him. So I'm just gonna parry him to death. And I suggest Learn the timing for parries at this point. It will only help you. It might take a few go rounds to really get it down, but it will help you, I promise. And of course, he might drop his sword or his shield. We'll see. And we got just a red Titanite chunk, which is fine. We already have the Black Knight sword and I believe 2 Black Knight shields, so I think we're good at this point. So now, remember Oscar, the guy who gave us our Estus flask? He has turned hollow and he is now hostile to us, which is sad. You can fight him the way we fought just about anybody else at this point. You can circle around, try to get backstabs. You'll see he's wearing exactly the same armor that we're wearing. We can parry him. He likes to kick as well, but you know he can also be parried. So, and you can backstab him as well. I was just being impatient, so I decided to parry instead. And for killing him, we get to pick up the Crest Shield. Make sure you get the Crest Shield. This is a shield that is required for the weapons trophy in the game. And beware for this boulder trap. That's the same as it was the first time we came here. We're going to head up. As you remember in Firelink Shrine, we picked up a key that we need to use. And this is really one of the big reasons why we came back. Well, of course, we want that shield that we're going to need for the trophy anyways. There's 3 things we want here. 4 if you include the boss, but as I said, we're going to come back for the boss later. Alright. So that key unlocks that door. That door was previously locked. The key that we got from Firelink Shrine. Alright, so we got the Rusted Iron Ring. This is a big deal for us. We're not going to equip it yet, but I am going to show you what it does. Improves balance on poor footing. So there's a big swamp that we're going to get to later, and what the Rusted Iron Ring does is it makes it so that your movement is not restricted in the swamp. You can move freely, you can roll freely, dodge freely, and it will help us out a lot once we get to that area. I wanted to go ahead and get it. Now we're going to go back through here, which is the way back to really where we started the game, and I'm just going to top off my health real quick because we are going to face another Black Knight, by the way. We're going to do the same thing we did with the last one, just parry him to death. So there's our friend. If you look over here, that's the boss you'd fight if you drop through the floor. It looks exactly like the Asylum demon that you fought at the very beginning of the game, but he is way more powerful. So don't sleep on him. Whoops. Oh, I got my talisman equipped. Oh, that was wonderful. Yeah, that's the thing is if you use the heal spell, you got to remember to put your shield back on. That's a mistake I make all the time. Sadly, yeah, it's not my finest moment right there, but it's all good. This guy's gonna get parried. We'll be just fine. Another red Titanite chunk. He can also drop the sword. He can also drop the shield. And in here, we got the Peculiar Doll, which is a special item that we're going to need to unlock a secret area later. You can only get to if you have the Peculiar Doll. So, that's all we're going to do here for now. As I mentioned, we are going to come back and kill that boss later. You can give it a try now. There's no harm in that. But, you know, it'll take a decent bit of skill to kill him at this point. So remember not to go straight. Run around the side so you don't fall. The floor will collapse right underneath you. Oh, geez. That's what I get for being careless. That was close. I should have just killed them. I was trying to be fancy and run past them, and it almost cost me dearly. So back here, curl up like a ball. This time, though, the cutscene triggers right away, so you don't have to wait for him to come pick you up like you did at Firelink to get here. So I'm going to head back down to the bonfire. And before we wrap up, I'm going to do some housekeeping. I'm going to organize my inventory. Just to show you, I haven't even used it yet, the bottomless box. So I'll leave these in here. Let's see, all these items I still want, so I'm not going to move any of the items over. But I will move these over. Broken straight sword hilt. I'll leave the claymore, I'll leave the black knight sword, Zweihander, Uji katana, move over mailbreaker, S-stock. So anything that's required for a trophy, I'm going to leave in my inventory because I think, I'm not positive, but I think for the trophy to pop, you have to have all of the trophy items in your inventory for the trophy to pop. So gargoyle tail axe I'm going to leave because that's needed for the trophy. Winged spear, partisan, halberd. I don't think the gargoyle's halberd is needed. I'm almost positive it is not. In fact, I am positive that it's not. Short bow, since we're using the longbow. Crossbow. I'll leave a catalyst in case I need it. Leave the target shield. Wooden shield. Leave the heater shield. Crest shield we need for the trophy. Black Knight shield we need for the trophy, but you only need one. And Stone Great shield we need for the trophy. So this will clean up my item space a little bit. And the reason why you'd want to clean up your inventory is because in case you want to switch weapons on the fly, you don't want your menu to be all cluttered. So I think that should do. And then let's see. Level up. This here. We'll call it good. All right, guys. Well, that will do for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time. And we'll start right off with another boss and another big new area. So it'll be lots of fun. Anyways, take care, everybody, and we'll catch you later.